Hi, I'm Nikki, and this tinkering tip is all about the use of the hand drill that comes in the T4Kids tinkering set. During this tip, I'm going to introduce you to both the product and also the document that comes in your set. So let's start by showing you the product. When you receive your tinkering set, it will include the drill in packaging that looks like this, which is in the original manufacturer's packaging. Now included are some drills on the front of here, but we have deliberately put a caution sticker on there. The drill bits in the original packaging don't have any stops on them, which means that the children or your staff can drill all the way through the piece of wood and potentially into your table. So on the back you'll see that we've provided you with 3 drill bits that have got collars on them, and these collars stop the drill bit from going too far into the wood or into the clampboard, and therefore your table is protected. So T4Kids would recommend that when you're using the drill, you should use the specialist drill bits that we supply with it. The document that you receive in your set has got a lot of useful information on it, including some safety tips, and I'm going to run through those now. The first safety tip is that you need to be wearing safety glasses. You really need to protect your eyes from this type of activity. The drill bits are small and they're brittle and they can break. The second safety tip is that the drills themselves, the drill bits, and that's the bit on the bottom. This top part is the drill and this bottom part is called the drill bits. The drill bits are sharp, hence how they cut through the wood. And they're not just sharp on the bottom, they're sharp on the flutes that run up the drill bit. So both your children and your staff need to be careful when handling it. They're like knives at the end of each of the different flutes, and therefore people need to be careful because they are sharp. The other safety tip on this activity is that it is quite a complicated activity. There's a lot to do. A child can be easily distracted, so we would recommend a staffing ratio for this particular activity of 1-on-1, certainly to start with while the children gain their confidence and competence. So I'm going to move the document out of the way, and now I'm going to explain a little bit about how to hold the tool. This is an adult's drill. Typically an adult would hold the drill like this and therefore do the drilling motion. What we found when we experimented with the children when we first were sourcing the tools is that children prefer to hold the drill this way up, vertically upright. It's quite a close work activity, and the children find that they can get more stability with it. You need the drill to be held vertically upright whilst you're drilling holes. It makes it much easier to go into the wood. So you need to hold it upright. What you need to try and avoid is wobbling the drill around because it might snap the drill bit. Interestingly, the drill bit only cuts the wood when it's rotating in one direction. So when it's rotating clockwise, it's cutting the wood. When it's rotating anti-clockwise, it's simply rubbing against the wood, and that's the easiest way to remove a drill bit from the wood. I'm now going to introduce you to the 2 different thicknesses of wood that we supply in our kit. With our clampboard, we have 2 different thicknesses. You can see here a pair of wood rounds that are quite thin, and that's deliberately the thinner piece of wood we supply so that you can drill all the way through. There you can see the holes through this one, hopefully. So if you want to drill holes all the way through, so you're doing, for instance, a threading activity afterwards, then we would suggest the thinner piece of wood. If you're looking at putting screws into a piece of wood and making it decorative, we would suggest the thicker one. And deliberately the screws that we supply are designed not to go all the way through. So here you can see again the 2 different thicknesses of the piece of wood, and this would be the one that you use if you want to drill all the way through. So let me explain how you use the 2 different pieces of wood. The reason why we have this brightly coloured yellow one as well as this one is when you want to go all the way through a piece of wood, the sharp pointed bit of the drill is going to come all the way through the piece of wood, and whatever it goes into below is going to be damaged by that. And when you've got a workbench in a workshop, that isn't a problem, and you'll see that adults' workbenches are often full of holes, but you don't want a hole in your table, and potentially you don't want a hole in your clampboard as well. So we supply this drill block. You place that drill block down to protect the clampboard, and then you place down the second piece of wood, which is the one you're actually going to drill into. The yellow drill block on the bottom is sacrificial, and what that means is you drill lots and lots of holes in it until it's worn out, and then you just buy a replacement one, whilst keeping the piece of wood that you've drilled holes through pristine and how you want it with the holes in it. So I've clamped my 2 pieces of wood in here, and now I'm going to show you how to use the drill. You can see I've got my safety glasses on. You place the point of the drill bit where you want to drill the hole. It's very simple. You then hold the drill securely upright, and you might indeed find some of your children prefer to be standing up to be doing this activity. It depends on the height of your tables. And then you grab hold of the handle and you rotate it clockwise. You hold the drill upright whilst you're drilling, and you can see I'm making sawdust. I'm drilling a hole into this piece of wood. You can see I'm going in there. I'm using quite a large drill bit here. The smaller the drill bit, the easier it is. So if some of your children find this quite tough, then I suggest you go to a smaller size of drill bit, because it will go in easier. So now I'm making my hole. When I want to remove the drill bit from my piece of wood, I rotate it the other way and then lift it up whilst doing it. You can see I've made sawdust. That's always the outcome when you make a hole in a piece of wood. And a safety tip again is don't blow it away, because then you could get sawdust in children's eyes. So they just want to rub it gently away, and then they can see their hole. This hand drill is very simple to use. It's very easy for children to grasp the principles of it. And we hope that you've understood how it's used. We've got a separate tinkering tip about how to change the drill bit in there, which is normally an adult activity. But thank you for listening to this tinkering tip, and hopefully you've understood how to use our hand drill.